And John, question back to you again. Um, you when we first talked, you talked about evangelizing this process simulation as a category, and uh, I know that some other vendors, if it's Software AG or even Celonis, they have some capabilities on simulations. Where do you see this category going, and is it just going to be a subsidiary of what process mining is doing, or you can see evolving, or I expect that you do see this as a business owner, that this will evolve in a whole new world, a whole new thing. So where do you see process simulation in 1 to 3 years?
Yeah, I mean, it's super young. I mean, we've really been evangelizing this in 2023. I think we really understood that there was a category here that was to be shaped this year. So this is it's a very very young thing. It's very very new. Process mining now is 8 to 10 years old, I'd imagine, in terms of how long it's been evangelized for. So we're right at the start of the cycle. I very much see it as a standalone category. And I think the bit of this that's been so interesting for me to observe is that it needs to be built on top of the data that's extracted by other platforms. And so what you really want, I think what the market needs, what customers are going to want is a process simulation platform which is interoperable with the different process mining vendors that are out there. So rather than having a world where every process mining vendor goes and builds all of the rich and sophisticated simulation functionality that we've built at Silico and finds the people in the world who are kind of have got enough expertise to actually build it in the first place, there is going to be a category in its own right. And those tools are going to play nicely with process mining. We've obviously talked
Mhm.
about a lot of process mining. You guys are a process mining podcast, but we also are interoperable. We have customers who haven't done process mining who are doing this just as a next step on from BPMN. We are working with, we've partnered with a couple of the task mining vendors as well, who think
Mhm.
there's something really interesting in doing simulation at that slightly lower level, at the task mining level as well. So I think this is going to be a category which, to me, sits higher in the stack than process mining. And really, process mining is in that layer of discovering what the process, reaching into the ERP, reaching into the enterprise systems, figuring out what the processes are, doing the discovery. And then there's going to be a layer that sits on top of that, which is going to be about simulating those processes. And then eventually there's going to be a layer on top of that, which is this world of AI reaching in and using those simulations to help augment human decision making, and maybe in some places start to actually make decisions autonomously as well. So I think you're absolutely right. There is some kind of quite limited simulation capability that some of the vendors have today, very tightly coupled around a process mining view of the world.
Yeah.
And I think this is something bigger and wider reach